The topic of this clinical toxicology video discussion will be the insecticides that don't block cholinesterase, since those are covered in another video. We'll be talking here about the organic chlorine and pyrethrin/pyrethroid classes of insecticides, and a bit about insect repellents, corresponding to Goldfrank's chapter 111. The learning objective for this session is that you'll be able to describe the expected toxicity pattern that can occur from overexposure to these substances. When they were first developed in the mid-20th century, the organic chlorine insecticides were a big improvement over existing options that had much higher mammalian toxicity. If you could control and kill insects while leaving livestock, pets, and humans essentially unaffected, that was a huge boon. I'm showing here a few of the organic chlorine insecticides, including lindane, which we'll see again soon, DDT, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, which was a major weapon against mosquitoes, saving millions of human lives, but now largely eliminated in the West due to concerns about long-term exposure effects, and a few others. The organic chlorines are all neurotoxic, overstimulating the insect's nervous systems, presumably leading to insect seizures, paralysis, and death. And they can have the same neurostimulatory effects on humans and other mammals, but they are vastly more potent against insects, meaning that in the normal intended application, there will be enough around to kill the bugs, but nowhere near enough to cause adverse effects in people. We saw lindane on the previous slide. It has a medical use as a topical scabicide. If lindane is misused or overused, then it's possible for the person to develop stimulatory neurotoxic effects, like tremor or seizures. But this shouldn't happen if lindane is used as intended. If seizures were very common, then we wouldn't be using it therapeutically. The mechanism here is that lindane, and some other organic chlorines, block GABA-A chloride channels. This reduces chloride influx into neurons, relatively depolarizing them, and making them more likely to generate an action potential. While topical lindane treatment is still around, its use is decreasing because there are even safer alternatives. Our next class of insecticides to cover are the pyrethrins. Pyrethrins are naturally occurring pesticides derived from chrysanthemum flowers. Pyrethrins were used for many years, but more environmentally stable, longer-lasting analogs, the Pyrethroids, were later developed. Here is an example of permethrin, which also has medical indications to treat lice and scabies infestations. It's got to be pretty safe overall, or we wouldn't use it topically, and it comes in a number of over-the-counter and prescription preparations, such as in lotions, rinses, and soaps, and in different strengths. Nearly all of the common household bug sprays have pyrethroids also as their active ingredient, but since they're so insect-specific, they're safe to use indoors as directed, even around kids and pets. Pyrethrins and pyrethroids, and some of the organic chlorines as well, cause neurotoxicity by prolonging the activation of sodium channels. If the sodium channels are kept open longer, this can result in stimulatory neurotoxicity, potentially resulting in seizures in cases of significant overexposure. And while this can happen, you have to remember that these agents are thousands of times more potent against insects than humans. Finally, to the insect repellents. By far the most common effective insect repellent is DEET, standing for diethyltoluamide. The photo in the bottom left shows how well the insects avoid the hand treated with DEET. But if the previous insecticides didn't underwhelm you with their toxicity already, then maybe DEET will do it. While there are loads of calls to poison centers about DEET exposures, they're mostly about people who are concerned but asymptomatic or who have minor and self-limited irritation. Extreme overexposure may cause neurotoxicity, and the textbook cites only a single case report where this occurred. While a common insect repellent spray like Deep Woods Off may contain 25% DEET, you can even get Maxideet, which is pretty near to the most concentrated possible at over 98%. And we've come to the end of this video discussion covering some insecticides and insect repellents. I'll be seeing you around.